Well, good morning. Today begins the Advent for the Christmas season, and also known as the season of light. When people put up their lights, the decorations for their holiday season, when people make lists and shop for gifts, when they make cookies, plan parties, holiday gatherings, when people play and listen to Christmas carols and other songs. Yet for some, maybe even many, it's a season of darkness, of foggy brains, frozen feelings, acute aloneness, numbness even, panic and sadness. Why is that? Well, it can be for many reasons. I would like to share with you what it was for me. The year was 1962, which is actually 62 years ago. It was just after Thanksgiving. A young missionary husband and father of 3 with another baby due any day farmed his 3 older children out with caring families and took his 31-year-old pregnant wife from Congo to Uganda, where a hospital with multiple skilled doctors was located. The young mother, a nurse and a midwife, sensed something was amiss, and they sought the extra help. The oldest of their children, a little girl of 5.5, who had herself faced many serious illnesses and operations in her short life, could not bear to be separated from her mother. She convinced some kind-hearted missionaries to smuggle her across the border, because they didn't have her passport, so that she could be with her parents. So it was that Heidi was with Richard Madsen on December 1st, 1962, in Kampala, Uganda of East Africa, when Marilyn gave birth to a baby boy, Victor Madsen, and 10 hours later slipped away to heaven. The autopsy revealed cancer of the pancreas and liver, a very aggressive form growing on the pregnancy hormones. A week or so later, my 1.5-year-old brother Carl and I, at 3.5 years old, came home to meet up with Dad, Sister Heidi, baby Victor, and to learn that our mother was never coming home. That December, as the lights and decorations were put up in other homes, I felt like the lights had been put out in ours. While carols were sung and the Christmas play was rehearsed, in our home, the music had gone silent. It would be 3 to 4 decades before I understood the reason why the season of joy, light, and music plunged me into numbness, grayness, lostness, and sadness. I had known that Jesus was able to heal and save lives. I believed the Bible. I knew he was strong enough, but he hadn't done it for me. In my childish soul, I came to believe that it was because I was not worth it. I wasn't valuable enough for him to exert his mighty power to save and heal my mother for me, for us. So began a yearly cycle where the lights and music of the holiday season triggered sadness, loss, numbness. But God did not leave me alone in this dark place. He'd already begun intervening, although I had not yet come to know it. He provided a remarkable stepmother. Many of you knew Louise Madsen. He also provided some skilled counselors, one who was himself married to a missionary kid from North Africa. God had already stirred up my grandparents to work hard and save and provide the financial resources to begin this trip of healing. God had given me a remarkable husband who walked with me through all of this, and of course my family. God gave me friends who not only stayed with me, but who learned to do music with their feet, with my feet. God restored music, friendship, and meaning to this season and life. And this was just the beginning. I have seen how he has shown me how much he values me, and he showed it to me in a way I could understand and believe. Although I'm still somewhat surprised at how little margin I have in December, It is much better than it used to be. I'm still a bit cautious how to extend during this month because I can be quickly overwhelmed. I have learned it is a time for me to stay close to some of my core values. I prioritize walking outside in the fresh air among the living trees, eating healthy food, getting my rest, making sure the laundry's done, spending simple and meaningful time with family and friends. It helps me to get into the community and just to be. Somewhere in the years, I learned that while we celebrate Jesus' birth in December, it is likely that he was born in the fall. The angels that brought the news to the shepherds who were with the sheep were in the fields. In Israel, the sheep glean in the fields after the harvest, which coincides with our late September, October time. I learned to leave up some of my LED icicle lights in our living room, and as the days grow shorter and the rain and the cold increase, more in time with daylight savings time, I just plug them in, reminding myself anew that he comes into my darkness, bringing light, beauty, and joy. In this way, I sort of preempt the triggers. I preempt the triggers with that truth that whenever he was born, the fact is he did come. He left heaven and he came into our darkness. He is Emmanuel, God with us. I've sometimes felt sad that I couldn't join in the celebrations as fully as many around me. But when we allow God to heal our souls, to be with us in our pain, it honors him. I think that's akin to worship. So whether you embrace the season of light as we begin Advent, or whether for you it's been a dark and lonely time, I invite you to join me, and of course the angels and God the Father, in honoring the Savior who came into our darkness and can still transform it. Thank you.